Welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report for this week's Strictly Biased with Will Retherford, where Will and I, your host Greg Mengelt, go through all of the games for the weekend and make our picks. I pitted Will up against the rest of the Central Indiana Sports Report crew and some of the local media from week to week to pick the games. And Will, you're doing pretty well. You finished second last week to producer Susie with 43 points, and you're third in our competition, only behind producer Susie's 207 and my 200. You have 196. The three of us are way ahead of everybody else. Elijah Poe of the Ball State Daily News, 176. Mike Rich, our Pacers guy, 175. And Grant Schaus of the Action Sports Network. Jay Stevens of the Kokomo Post. Michelle Garman of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader. Our Fever guy, John Robertson. Daniel Bragg of Bragg Sports Media. Kate Hampton of the Muncie Star Press. Kevin Helfrich of the Action Sports Network. And Jeremy Giggy of White River Broadcasting. So here we go with week 6. Will, welcome back to the podcast.
Yes, thank you. We're seeing the board pretty well. Producer Susie has been incredible. She has picked all of the games that nobody else has picked. So big shout out to her. Me and you have been pretty close. We've pretty much picked the same.
We have. It's kind of
week
boring.
To week.
Let's not do that again this week.
Okay. Well, we'll see. It might happen organically.
Yeah, I think it's happened organically anyway. I think we both kind of see things the same way in general. I think we both still think Buccaneers, Bills are the two best teams in the league, and we kind of see things similarly, unlike last year.
After those two teams, it's wide open. I see a lot of 6-4s this week, and I think that's probably right based on just where these teams are. I don't think there's a whole lot separating anybody.
It's a good time for me to remind everybody, every game is worth 10 points. The underdog is worth more points. Picking the underdog is worth more points than picking the favorite. For example, on Thursday night, if we were going to do that, the Eagles would have been worth 3 points. The Giants were 7. So that's how that works. The way producer Susie got the lead is by picking the Giants to beat the Chargers. She was the only one. And the Patriots to beat the Bills last week. She was the only one to do so. That's why she leads. Both times I told her she was nuts for making those picks. Both times she said, we'll see. And she was right. And Will said most of the games are worth 6 and 4, a couple worth 5 and 5, and then a couple worth where there's a more significant favorite. But it's a week where pretty much every game could go both ways.
Yep.
We start with Sunday morning in London. The 3-2 Broncos at the 0-5 Jets. The Jets have played a lot better than 0-5, but they are 0-5. The Broncos are worth 3. The Jets are worth 7. Will, who you got?
I think the Broncos just give the Jets fits. Actually, Sean Payton's first win as the coach of the Broncos came in London. I expect him to get another win this week.
I agree with you. The trip to London's always a little iffy. If this was in New York, I'd be concerned about giving away 7 potential points, but I'm not. Give me the Broncos. We have 7 games in the 1 p.m. window on Sunday. And, of course, we start with the local team, the Colts. I have the 2-3 Cardinals worth 6 points. The 4-1 Colts worth 4. And Will, I do think the Colts are going to win this game. I think there's a good chance they win it fairly handily, but I'm very concerned, like I was last week against the Raiders for no reason.
The Kyler Murray ankle injury, if he doesn't play, I have absolutely no concern about this game. I think the Colts probably cover and win big again and move to 5-1. We've said it before about these West Coast teams. Arizona's moving 3 time zones up too. They're playing 10 o'clock local against a good team. Lucas Oil will be rocking. I think the Colts beat them handedly.
I think it'll be handily either as well. There's something about the game that if I wasn't a Colts fan, maybe one of those games the team overlooks somebody.
Yeah.
Probably not. Pretty easy Colts win, I think. The 3-2 Rams go to Baltimore to face the 1-4 Ravens. Did not expect this from the Ravens. I have the Rams worth 4. Baltimore worth 6 at home. Will, who you got?
I think it largely depends on if Lamar. I haven't heard one way or another. I think if he plays, I might be inclined to come back and take the Ravens at 6. But I think just with the uncertainty of his playing, I think I'm going to take the Rams, even though they're moving up 3 time zones to play. I just think that the Ravens are so beat up on the back end that Puka, Devontae, and Matthew Stafford just have a big day.
The stats say take the Rams. The history says take the Ravens. So give me the Ravens. The 1-4 Browns are at 3-1 Pittsburgh for a big one. I have the Browns worth 7, trying to tempt people in Pittsburgh. Steelers worth 3, Will.
Give me the Steelers. I think that Dylan Gabriel, there is now a game of NFL tape on him. I think Tomlin probably does a good job scheming against that. Aaron Rodgers looks really comfortable in that system. I think the Steelers are actually good. I don't think that they're great. I
Really?
think that they're the same 7 or 10-7 team as they always are, but I think that I'm going to take them at home.
I believe that the Steelers are going to win this game, and that's not how this game works. But because the Browns are worth more than twice as many points with 7-3 for the Steelers, the Browns have done enough this year that I should be able to take them when the points are double. And no more Joe Flacco. And you're right, Dylan Gabriel's probably not very good, but that team's not bad. Give me the Browns. The 2-1 Cowboys are at the 2-3 Panthers. I have the Cowboys worth 4. The Panthers were 6. I picked against the Cowboys last week, Will. I thought going across country to play the Jets would cost them. It didn't. They played pretty well. Dak Prescott's playing as well as any quarterback in the NFL, so I'm going to take Dallas.
I am as well. I just think Dak's playing too well. It doesn't matter him going to Carolina. He's playing really crisp, clean football. His play action game looks great. I like Schottenheimer's offense. I think the Cowboys win this. Panthers cover, but Cowboys win.
Panthers are a different team at home, and I really hesitated to take the Cowboys going to Charlotte. I have a feeling I'm going to regret this pick, but I'm going to stick with the Cowboys.
We both picked against them last week and looked like fools, so I'm not doing it again. They just did this trip last week. Like, if they can't go back and run it back again, then not a professional outfit. I know it's tough. They're also not moving crazy time zone either. They're only moving 1 time zone up, so it's not like they're playing at 12 o'clock local time, which they've done before. This is not new for this franchise.
The Panthers are a different team at home than they are on the road, so I'm a little hesitant, but I'll still take Dallas. Well, something is wrong with the Chargers. They come in 3-2 with 2 straight losses, 2 straight ugly losses. No one's going to bat an eye that you lose to Washington, but the way that they did, not good. They go to Miami, a place where you think that they could get healthy. The Dolphins 1-4. Have the Chargers worth 4. The Dolphins were 6, Will.
I think the Chargers win this one. I don't know. I think this is kind of the trap. If I feel like I'm going to get beat on one, this would be the one. The Dolphins looked pretty good last week playing against Carolina. They let the game go. I just don't feel like Justin Herbert wants to lose to Tua. That he was the guy picked right in front of him in the draft. I think there's always that chip on the shoulder. And I think that Harbaugh gets back to business. I hope the third time's not a charm. I picked against him the first 2 weeks. I've picked for him the last 2 weeks and gotten burnt. I think that they do me right this week.
And your New England Patriots are 3-2, heading to New Orleans to face perhaps the worst team in the NFL. They did get a win last week. Good for them. Patriots worth 4. The Saints worth 6. Who you got, Will?
Saints cover, Patriots win.
And the 3-2 Seahawks are at the upstart 4-1 Jaguars, finding ways to win close games like they did in last year. I have Seattle worth 6. The Jaguars worth 4 at home. Who are you taking? A lot of West Coast teams going east this week.
What are your thoughts on this? Because they obviously played at home last week. Now they're jumping ahead. Time zone, Jacksonville is on a short week. What are your thoughts?
I think this is probably a spot where Seattle gets a win on the road. Give me Seattle.
I'm also going to take Seattle. I like them getting the points. Jacksonville's played well up to this point, but it's tough to go 5-1 in the NFL. I don't think that if they lose, you change your opinion on them much. I just think the Seahawks go and get this one.
But if they win, maybe you do start to change your opinion on them.
Yeah, it might. Hey, this is a team that's I have a feeling that stadium's going to be pretty loud after Monday. So I think it's going to be a rowdy environment for Seattle. This is also a test for them. You're going to see, are they a team that can go and win uncomfortable? Because this is not going to be fun playing at 10 o'clock local. This is, I think, a test for both teams.
Imagine if Brian Thomas Jr. could catch the ball, how good they'd be.
Yeah.
Bad.
And this will be the week they do it because we picked against them. So expect him to go for 10, 150, and 2.
Three games in the 4 o'clock window. We start with the 2-3 Bengals with a new quarterback. Ugh. And the 1-1 Packers at home. I have the Packers worth 2, the Bengals worth 8. The Packers started off 2-0 and look like one of the best teams in the league. Have not looked very good of late. They're a little different at Lambeau as well. Before we make your pick, Will, I want to say this about Joe Flacco. I'm not sure how you look at your quarterback situation and think Joe Flacco's an upgrade. I understand that the situation's not good there. Joe Flacco, the last 4 years, has played against the best offensive lines in the NFL and has barely survived. What's he going to do in Cincinnati?
I feel the same thing, but that new quarterback bump is real, and he is going to force the ball to Higgins and Chase, which is, I think, what ultimately they want.
With what time is he going to throw?
I don't know. Am I crazy for kind of wanting to pick the Bengals, getting 8?
Yes.
Probably, but I think I'm going to take the Packers and use my head.
You're going to hate yourself when the Bengals win this game on Sunday, aren't you?
Yeah, this will end up being another one. Are you taking the Packers too?
I'm taking the Packers.
Okay, you're not
crazy. I've seen Joe Flacco play quarterback.
I'm sure producer Susie she'll take the Bengals somehow.
I'm sure she will. So the Bengals will win. Big one on it. Big win at Tampa, Will. 4-1 49ers at the 4-1 Buccaneers. The 49ers were 6. The Buccaneers at home were 4.
You know what? I'm going to waffle. I think go Bucs here. I don't think that the 49ers are going to be able to run that well. And I fear that if you get Mac Jones into a throwing competition with Baker, he's not going to win that battle. So give me the Bucs.
I think the Buccaneers win this game going away. I think the 49ers are one of the worst teams the Buccaneers have played. This is almost like an off week to them compared to what they've been doing. I just don't believe in the 49ers at all. I know they're 4-1. They're better than I expected them to be. I still don't believe. One more game in the 4 o'clock window. It's the 1-4 Titans at the 1-4 Raiders, 2 teams that the Colts just beat. I have the Titans worth 6 in Vegas, worth 4.
God, this is just another one that I think is just 2 crappy teams playing. Like, nobody should win this game.
Yeah, give me the Raiders at home. Who are you taking?
I'll take the home team. I've waffled twice. I don't like doing that, but I think the Titans are bad. I think the Raiders are really bad, though, too. They've got to get Genty going at some point. There's got to be a game plan. The Titans shouldn't have won last week. The Titans are really bad. Give me the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders, I thought were going to be a team that went 8-9. Maybe we're in the playoff hunt late in the season, and they're just not very good. But I still think they're better than the Titans at this point. I do like Cam Ward, though, in the future. I think he's going to be a good one. And on Sunday night, it's the 4-1 Lions at the 2-3 Chiefs. I have both teams worth 5 points. Will, who are you taking?
Lions. They're the better team, big time. And I don't think playing on the road means anything to them.
I think playing on the road does mean something to them. They're way better at home. I still think they're going to win in Kansas City. I don't believe in this Chiefs team at all. There hasn't been a moment this year that I've thought, oh, the Chiefs might be. No, they're headed for 9-8. They're headed for a borderline playoff year, and it's understandable. Year after year, they've played in 19, 20 games, and year after year, they've drafted last. It's understandable that they're going to have one of these seasons, and I think they go to 2-4. 2 games on Monday Night Football. The 4-1 Bills coming off a shocking loss to the New England Patriots, unless you ask producer Susie. They head to Atlanta, where the Falcons are a different team at home. They've actually been pretty potent when they've played in Atlanta. They're 2-2 on the year. I have Buffalo worth 4 on the road. The Falcons were 6 at home.
Another tough one because you could really make an argument both ways.
Yeah.
I think give me the Falcons at 6 at home. I think that Bijan, the Bills have had a lot of problems stopping the run, and Bijan's definitely the best running back they face. I think Penix is at home in the dome. I think he can sling the pill around. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop the three-headed monster of London, Mooney, and Pitts. I think this is one of those games where the Bills are a good team, but go to 4-2 just because the Falcons are really tough to play at home.
Seems like the Falcons have gotten the quarterback situation with Penix at least viable, where he looked awful the first couple of weeks. I'm still going to take the Bills on the road and not like it very much. I think the Falcons have a good shot at winning that game. Give me Buffalo. And then the last game of the week, a second Monday night game, the 2-2 Bears, who have looked much better of late. I have worth 6 points in Washington. Washington is 3-2 and worth 4 and looked really good last week.
I'm rolled with Washington. I think this Bears team's a facade. They're a bad 2-2 football team. And I think if Bill Krosky Merritt is efficient on the run as he's been, I think that the Bears have a lot of trouble up their hands. I think that Daniels, that was a game last year the Bears should have won and didn't. That was kind of the coming out party for Jaden Daniels after the Hail Mary. Give me Washington.
And what's up with giving the Bears a week off and then not play until Monday? Doesn't seem right. It's like they got this extra long vacation, and I think that pays off. Give me the Bears on the road. Bears might be real. Not real as in they're be contending for anything, but a playoff spot. I think this Bears roster is pretty good. I've liked what they're doing. Give me the Bears in Washington.
Caleb's the opposite of Bo Nix, where he's really good the first 15, and then he plays really bad the rest of the game.
You're right.
I think that I think they go down and they might score 10 points in the first drive, and I just think that they get their tires sputtering a little bit, and Washington is just good. I think that they're a good team. Daniels kind of got back to playing last week in a game that they really were able to use the run game as a means to finish the game off. I think that Daniels plays really well and throws for 3 touchdowns, I'll even say. I think this is one of those games where the Bears just get outclassed a little bit. I don't know. The way Ben Johnson acts sometimes is just a little standoffish. I don't know how I feel about him yet.
Sure.
I liked him as the OC in Detroit, but I think that he's going to end up getting fired in a couple of years. So,
I think this Bears team is heading in the right direction. I believe that Washington is going to have a year where they're up and down, and I think this is one of the downs. I also want to thank, once again, the Chicago Bears for drafting Colston Loveland with the 10th pick in the draft.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is the worst I felt the whole year about my picks.
Because there are 4 or 5 games that I could see it going either way.
No, it's just because there's a lot of bad teams playing each other.
Yeah. I think that 1 o'clock window is going to be tumultuous. We'll see.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a witching hour there. We'll see. It looks to be a good slate. I think it'll be an entertaining slate. I do think it'll be high scoring, but I just see it kind of being one of those where it just comes down to maybe who has the ball last, and that doesn't always bode well for picks because sometimes freaky things can happen.
Is there a game you're most looking forward to?
Outside of watching the Colts Cardinals, I think that Seahawks Jaguars game has a chance to be a really good game. And I think the 49ers Bucks will be a good game. Like outside of that, I think the Lions are going to beat the Chiefs badly. I think the Lions are really good. And we just kind of got sold a different story the first week with them playing Green Bay. But this team's looked better than they even did last year, I think, up to this point.
Two teams I'm very curious about because I don't think they're probably good, but I'm not exactly sure yet. The Steelers at home against the Browns, the Cowboys in Carolina. I'm very curious what happens with those teams because I'm still not sure on them.
I think that those are situations where you're going to kind of the story will be told a little bit. You're going to have more answers.
Thanks so much, Will.
Yep, thank you.
And thank you for listening. Will and I will be back on Monday evening. Please join us. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.